Here is a demonstration of the new prototype for local multiplayer battle and training. Upon starting the game, users will navigate to local multiplayer as usual, select a stage, and arrive at the character select screen, where they can observe the first change. Instead of selecting a game tag, or using the default, the battle won't be able to start until players sign in to use their user profiles. Let's say player 1 selects the blank space, sees his name is already there as this is not his first time doing so on this console, so he selects it and enters his 4-digit passcode to sign in. Player 2 is new to the game altogether, and so he must select Create Profile and enter his unique username, preferred display name, and desired passcode, and then re-enter it to confirm, and is then signed in. None of this obstructs the other players from acting, and so all of this can happen in parallel. Note that players will not have to sign in again until their controller is disconnected. The benefits of doing so is the advanced logging of battle performance and interactions in order to assess general skill, exposure, character proficiencies, battle tendencies, strengths, and weaknesses, and the situations that expose them. This information is used to inform the application of the subsequent features. After this, the battle can proceed as normal, with a few changes. By default, rule sets will be set to automatically assign players stocks based on a complex matchup calculation that considers all of the information on each profile described earlier, so that the match is always as close as possible and challenging to both parties in a 2-player match. Now that the battle has started, notice that player 1 has 2 stocks, while player 2 has 3 stocks. Hopefully this makes battles between players with large skill gaps more enjoyable for both parties, and if not, this can be disabled in the rule set like so. Simply toggle stocks from balanced to the equal number of stocks both players should start with, as usual. The battle proceeds as normal, with only one more change. By default, the interface will more often than not share a direction or a piece of advice in about 3 words or less in a situation identified as challenging for a specific user, as informed by their profile. This advice is shared through the assumed audience that will occasionally chant a character's name in the default interface, doing so at the same volume about once a game on average, like so. This can be disabled in the rule set, like so. Navigate to Advanced Settings, see the Audience Advice setting, and simply set it to Off. At the end of the match, the winner's victory theme plays as usual, followed by the usual player ranks and stats for the battle. However, about a second after the ranks display, they are shrunk through sliding transition to only take up the top half of the screen, while the bottom half propagates a highlight reel of the most exciting and game-changing moments of the battle. Notice how the bottom left corner instructs users to select the screen to expand it. Users can do so by moving their cursors from the player ranks and pressing A. They can also opt to return to the stage select screen by simply pressing A on their player ranks to close them, just as usual in the default interface. If they opt to expand the screen, however, they can exit back to half screen by pressing B, as stated in the bottom left corner, or skip the highlight reel by pressing A, as stated at the top. Note that this text at the top will disappear after 5 seconds so as not to distract the players. Once the highlight reel ends or is skipped, a What Happened reel is displayed, showing a 5-second clip of a mistake deemed significant for a particular player, most likely due to frequency. Note the text at the bottom briefly describing the problem or mistake, and the text in the top right corner stating which player is being advised. This is followed by a similar next time clip that shows a generated 5-second reimagining of the aforementioned interaction in which the highlighted character successfully avoids or manages the highlighted negative situation by performing an advised action or series of actions. After this, the interface will then ask the player if they know how to perform this action. Only the highlighted player can answer this question. Assuming the player says no, the following text is displayed, and the user is recommended a lesson that teaches the actions and, later on, an associated mission that offers rewards for its completion. If they say yes, the only difference is that the bottom half of the text is not displayed, as the lesson is not saved to their profile. If they select skip, this view is skipped. The user's answer is logged and processed internally in their profile. If there is another player the interface wants to advise, it will do so before returning to the rank screen, starting from their What Happened clip. Finally, now that the players have returned to the rank screen, the existing feature of saving footage of the battle can be done the same way as the default from the rank screen by pressing Y and selecting Yes, with the change of this pop-up only blocking and being interactable on a per-player basis similar to signing in to a user profile, and the addition of that action also saving the highlight reel and all the associated clips to their user profile. Now that the players have gotten what they need and are ready to leave, they select A on the rank screen as usual and begin returning to the stage select screen. Notice how player 1 receives a recommended mission on their way back based on his answer to the next time prompt. When he completes this mission, he'll receive a mission complete status and its rewards similarly as he is returning to the stage select screen from the battle in which he completed said mission. Recommended lessons and missions can be found by navigating to a user's profile settings, like so. Note that these now replace the old mapping to general game tag control scheme setups. The player who clicks on the button will have their profile displayed. If they are not logged in, they will first be prompted to do so. The view will look like this. Control schemes have been moved here and can be navigated as usual. Recommended lessons and missions can be found here in the same section. Lessons can be completed in their focused training environments. Both can be viewed or accessed through here, if recommended, or through the full catalog, which we'll go into more soon. Below, you will find a section for security, which has what you would expect for managing an account. Finally, you'll see the user's vault at the bottom, which was relocated due to being profile specific. Within the vault, replays can be navigated to as usual, and the full footage can be played as usual. Now let's go back. Notice the addition of the highlights button and what happened / next time button. These buttons, as you might expect, pull up the associated clips for this battle. Now let's go back and finally go in depth with lessons and missions. Missions can be completed through battle against CPUs, local opponents, or online opponents. Rewards for completing these missions include new character skins, new Mii Fighter accessories, and potentially new custom special move unlocks. The hope is that these rewards will keep players engaged through novelty and incentivize improvement, making the game feel less repetitive by establishing larger goals for gameplay. The hope is also to encourage players to explore features outside of local multiplayer battle. Note that all missions are available for completion, whether they are recommended or not. You can view them by navigating like so. Choose games and more, training, lessons, and here we are. Let's explore this lesson. We are first shown a few demos of the action performed out of context and in a few relevant contexts. The player is then asked to perform the action out of context. After successfully performing the action 3 times in a row, they are taken to the first in-context practice. If they mess up, they are shown some feedback on what they did wrong or what wasn't done at the bottom of the screen. Like for example here, where the character acted too early in context. The success counter in the top right is reset and the scenario repeats. It's important to note that the start menu seen here will be very similar to the standard training menu with a few extra options, allowing players to change contexts and replay the demo for the active context. Hopefully these lessons and their recommendation after battles help players discover new actions and speed up the process of gaining control in battles. Please be aware that the existing training function still exists and can be accessed simply like so. In the training view, instead of clicking lessons, simply click freeform. From here, we're taken to the existing training mode stage select screen, and the rest follows as usual. This concludes the prototype demonstration. Thank you for watching.